We do offer all kinds of services with pool, spa, irrigation systems, sewer laterals, septic inspections, mold inspections. Every year we're required to have so many hours of continuing education to show that we stay current. I usually tell people the cellar is your time machine, really, to let you know what's going on.
Hello and welcome to this episode of the Real Producers Partners Podcast. I'm your host, David Owen with Changescape Web. And in each episode, we speak with a real producer's partner to learn more about them and their business. Today, I'm joined by Andrey Barshay.
Yes, sir.
With Housemaster Inspections. I'm excited to learn more about Housemasters and the value they bring to the marketplace. So welcome, Andrey.
Thank you, David. I really appreciate the time today. Thank you.
So as we get started, let's share with our listeners the best way to contact you.
The best way to contact us would be giving us a call at the office at the local number 618-977-7434, or just simply visit our website at housemaster.com, Belleville Home Inspection.
Great. So how long have you been in the business?
So I started back in 2012, so just a little over 13 years now, and still excited about moving forward. So
you've seen some changes in the marketplace.
Absolutely. Actually, we started right after the market dropped off. So we were able to kind of run with it from the baseline all the way to where it's today, the highs and lows.
So you've been in 13 years or so. Who are your typical clients?
Typical clients are residential purchasers of residential property. So the home buyer, which is our primary. And then there's also the home seller. And then alternate would be a real estate professional on the commercial side.
Do you primarily get contacted by buyers or sellers, or how do you do it?
Yeah, very good question. Majority is through the buyers, but a lot of times the realtor that's involved with the transaction on the buyer's end will reach out to our office as well to schedule an appointment.
Okay. So there's various ways the business comes in the door for you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And more so now through the digital media, a lot of the social media and the websites, but it is a lot of it is a referral based system. So we get referred.
Sure. And your territory is primarily the Belleville area?
Primarily the Metro East. We kind of work out of the Shiloh, O'Fallon, Illinois area, but we'll go about an hour to an hour and a half. So we do work on both sides of the Mississippi River.
Okay. So you cross the river occasionally, but you like to stay near your office or home or wherever your office is.
Much so. We make a little bit of a joke. We say it's not the Mississippi River, it's the Mississippi Ocean, because sometimes that cultural difference is that much.
Yeah, it's kind of that way. So what do you like about the industry?
I love the industry. I love helping individuals make an important purchase decision, obviously, especially first-time home buyers. For me, is really my favorite, working with young couples or individuals that are making their home purchase for the first time and really getting them to understand what the home purchase is about, getting to know their home, learning about their home while they're walking on the inspection with us.
Mm-hmm. So what were you doing before you got with Housemasters?
I was active duty for over 20 years in the military.
Okay. All right. And why'd you choose them as a partner?
That's a really good question, because I looked at 3 different companies at first. I looked at Red Wing Shoes, I looked at Tudor Doctor, and I looked at Housemaster. Okay. And after meeting with all the folks that were involved, especially the owners, Housemaster to me was a family. It really gave me the essence of the military perspective. No matter who I called or who I spoke with, they would bend over backwards to answer my questions and help out from the president all the way down to each individual owner. So it was a really, really good experience. And that right there was one of the reasons I looked at establishing myself with them.
Well, that's great. The relationship is important, and the commitment to helping you, I think, would be vital.
Especially new owners and new inspectors, very much so, because we're going in there not knowing what to expect. And so having folks there to work with us and kind of guide us, mentor us as well. It was very, very a pleasure to work with folks. And also the fact that they were the oldest inspection company in the country. They were 79, and only until recently they were all family owned, which was another big decision for me to join them.
You have a lot of feelers out for people, whether it's social media, whether it's real estate, whether it's a seller or a buyer. Why should people get a home inspection?
Well, anytime there's a purchase involved, we highly recommend that everybody that goes through a home purchase gets a home inspection. Because it is a big decision and it's an expensive decision. So I always tell folks I'm not there to sell them the home. I'm not there to tell them to walk away from the home. I just want them to be educated, informed decision makers. And that's ultimately the important aspect of that they understand what they're purchasing. So
you guys are more educators than anything.
We consider ourselves defect specialists, but yes, sir, very much so. The education is a very, very important part of that process, so that folks, when they're purchasing it, understand all the different components of the home and how to maintain that home as they live in it.
Are there differences in what you're looking for if you're on the Missouri side versus the Illinois side? Or
That's a great
are you
question.
looking for the same thing?
Yeah, excellent question. So in the state of Illinois, we're licensed. So we're required to at least at a bare minimum follow the Illinois standards of practice for home inspections.
Okay.
I'm also an American Society of Home Inspectors certified inspector. So that's on a national level. So we actually have a set of guidelines that we follow on that scale. So when we're inspecting on the Illinois side, at a minimum, we're following those standards of practice. But I always follow the American Society of Home Inspectors standards as well on both sides of the river, both in Illinois and Missouri. And one important thing to note is, just one important thing to note, that there's no licensing requirements in Missouri. So that's why having that certification behind home inspector is very important.
So should people selling their home get a inspection before putting it on the market?
Absolutely. We always suggest that as well, because say a family has lived in that home for maybe 10, 15 years, the code and the ordinances around them change. So it's good to have that inspection just so they have a baseline on what they may want to correct, because the buyer will probably inherently get their own home inspector. And so at least they can have a home inspection report that shows these are the items that we've addressed and corrected and fixed, and makes that transaction a lot smoother.
Do you just leave it to the seller to find, if you find things that need to be taken care of? Do you leave it to them to find the resource to get that done, or do it themselves? Or how do you do that? How do you remediate what you find?
That's a great question. A lot of times they may have already been working with a real estate agent on the seller side. So it's called the listing agent. So we always recommend talking to their listing agent, because we don't want to step on their toes. We don't want to get involved with the transaction. But if they are unable to get the resources that they need, we'd be more than happy to provide those referral partners, because we do have other referral partners that we work with that are vetted and trusted to perform anything that they may need from all different professions.
Are there other services that are required or recommended besides just a standard, I would call it a standard inspection?
Correct. Yeah, we do offer, the industry does offer several other ancillary services. The home inspection is the baseline, but about, I'd say 85% or so of our clients also perform what's called a wood destroying insect or termite inspection. Some lenders require it, the VA requires it, and also a radon test, because radon is becoming more prevalent across the country, and it becoming more advertised. So those are the basic ones, but we do offer all kinds of services with pool, spa, irrigation systems, sewer laterals, septic inspections, mold inspections. So we offer those options, and the client's definitely willing to pick any of those that they're choosing.
Okay. So it's not a one size fits all kind of deal.
Correct. Very,
it can vary.
May have a different price.
Very much so. It can take a lot of time or a little time.
Correct. And we try to block off about 3 hours for our average inspection, because we want to answer all the client's questions and make sure we're there for them, not the home. So it's really about the client themselves. And so we've had inspections, some inspectors have been on site for 6 hours. It really depends on the individual. And we always recommend that the clients attend our inspections, because we can answer their questions and they can see firsthand what we're inspecting and finding for them.
Yeah. I remember when I sold my first house, the inspector came and he turned on everything. He turned on the stove. He turned on the water. He flushed the toilets. He turned on the lights, did all that stuff. And I'm like, What are you doing? It all works. We live here.
Joke about it. I said, well, we'll start your dishwasher, so we'll do your dirty dishes. We'll run a bath for you. So when we leave, you can take a bath because we won't fill the tub up. So yeah, we try to make it as pleasant and as painless as possible, because sometimes the sellers are a little hesitant when we're there when we're looking at their home.
Well, I think it's just having an understanding of exactly what you're doing is important, so you aren't thinking, gee, what's going on here?
Very much so. And on top of that, we also have to do continuing education. So every year we're required to have so many hours of continuing education to show that we stay current. Our license in the state of Illinois renews every 2 years. So we're required to have a certain amount of continuing education units every 2 years. So that's an important aspect of the industry, is that continuing education.
Does that take a lot of time, that education, or does it depend on what's changed?
It can be. So being licensed as a home inspector and also radon professional, we have to either watch videos or attend courses. So some of the courses may take a few hours. Some of the conferences that we attend are all-day conferences, and we'll get credit for that. And we have to take a test at the end of that conference or that course to show that we have a minimum passing score to get those credits. So
what questions, if somebody's thinking about selling their house, what kind of questions should they ask before getting an inspection done? Maybe scope or something like that?
Absolutely. A lot of times the questions that we receive are, what will you be inspecting? What will the inspector inspect? Obviously, and the other question is, should we attend the inspection? Absolutely, 100%. The two key questions that I always highly recommend when we do our continuing education or any kind of presentation to the realtors or just the local community is ask if that inspection or inspector or the inspection company is licensed in the state of Illinois, very important. And also, do they carry insurance? So there's two types of insurance that are very important. There's the general liability, which majority of contractors have, but we in the industry for inspections, we also write reports. So the important question to ask is, do you carry errors and omissions insurance as well? Some inspectors choose not to carry that. That's a very, very important part. So making sure that they're licensed and insured, and to provide documentation showing that they have those credentials.
Yeah, and well, that's a good point, because you can only do what you can see or test, and if you miss something and it becomes a problem, you want to have some protection against that.
Absolutely. I mean, we do our best to do as accurate inspection as possible, but I always tell folks we don't have X-ray vision goggles. I say Google's working on the goggles for me, but they're doing the driverless car thing first. So once they're done with that, I'll get my X-ray vision goggles. And I always tell folks is I don't have a time machine, so I can't really go back in time to see why things occurred. I usually tell people the seller is your time machine, really, to let you know what's going on. And I always mention that I don't have a crystal ball, so I can't see into the future, which I wish I could, because we get a lot of questions like, What do you think about this? And so we do our best to give them a 90-95% as is of the home on the day of the inspection. So
that's probably some of the questions that someone looking to have an inspection done should ask you. Kind of, what's your credentials? What's your education? What can I expect in the outcome? Absolutely. Credentials, insurance, background, experience level, very, very much so. And we also recommend going to our websites and going to our social media and looking at feedback and seeing what our other clients, our past clients have said, because that really kind of can validate the information that's provided from the front office. Reviews are very important. In almost every industry, people want to know what Google thinks of you. Yeah, very, very much. Google business is really, really big for feedback. Absolutely. Yeah. So again, give us your website. Tell us what the best way to reach you. Absolutely. So the best number to call when trying to schedule an inspection is our phone number, our primary phone number, which is the 618-977-7434. Or they could also visit us on our website at housemaster.com, Belleville Home Inspection. And they'll be able to link to our online scheduler, or they could link to our office and contact us directly. Well, I know there's some requirements for inspection in some areas. Is there requirements in your area, or can you count on the real estate agents to make sure stuff like that gets accomplished? It is more reliant on the real estate agent or the homeowner or the buyer themselves going out and finding an inspection company, but it is not a requirement per se. Neither is the
lenders would require maybe an element inspection or a termite inspection, something for their requirements. But in the state of Illinois, it's not a requirement to purchase a home to have a home inspection. That's why we always advocate and educate our community, our real estate professionals, residents, to really think about getting that home inspection. Because if you think about it from the purchase perspective, you're purchasing a multi-$100,000 home potentially, and for anywhere from maybe $500 to $900, whatever the case may be, it's really a small amount to get that peace of mind to have that home inspected.
Well, it's kind of insurance.
Yeah, it is in a sense, because you are literally walking into something. And the other day we inspected a house that was over 150 years old. So it'd be nice to have that individual and understand what's in that home.
Not only what's in it, but what's changed in it.
Absolutely. I literally just had a friend of mine this morning email me and say, hey, my younger brother's purchasing a home. It's over 100 years old. Would you mind taking a look at the home inspection report? They're purchasing in Virginia. And I said, I'd be more than happy to take a look at that report. And because, that particular transaction does not have a real estate individual. So it's for sale by owner. So they're and knowing that I'm a home inspector, I feel that they have the trust for me to actually look at the report. And I really appreciate that to convey that trust to me and send the report so I can review it for them.
It would seem to me that if someone doesn't want to get a home inspection, they have something to hide. If
it's
they're
possible.
selling.
It's very possible. And there's times where we'll go into homes and there's things that are blocked or we can't move something, and then when the folks end up moving, and then they find out there was maybe an issue that was covered up. So we're not saying everybody's like that at all. Most people are very transparent. Some people obviously don't want to have their baby called ugly, is what the terminology sometimes used in the real estate industry. But majority of the time, it's a very smooth transaction, and we're very transparent. We try to be very helpful on both sides of the transaction, both the buyer and the seller.
That's great. Is there anything else you'd like to add in our discussion?
Oh, I think the home inspection industry is wonderful. And I encourage everybody, that's interested in that trade to reach out to their local home inspector or home inspection company and really kind of ask those questions. And we love taking individuals on for ride-alongs to kind of show them a day in the life of a home inspector, because our office changes every day. So if you like that change of scenery every single day, just being on a roof and looking at the beautiful countryside on a beautiful day, that's a great office view.
Exactly. I love being out in the country, driving around, going places.
Yeah, so, and you get to see so many different towns and municipalities. You meet some wonderful people along the way, and it's just really a wonderful profession to be in.
Great. That's great. All right, one more time, give me your phone number so people contact you.
Absolutely. Our local number is 618-977-7434. And if they just type in Housemaster, Belleville, Illinois, it'll go to our website directly. And it's our local website. And we'd be more than happy to schedule or answer any questions that our clients may have.
Are you guys on Facebook or Instagram or anything like that?
LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. Just type Housemaster has a presence across all the social platforms. And then we at the local level have a presence at the local level as well.
Okay. That's great. Well, I appreciate your time, and it's good info. It's not something, if you're not selling your house or buying a house, you're not thinking about it.
Absolutely.
But it's good info to keep in mind.
Definitely. And we're always open to questions and answering any questions too. And David, I really do appreciate you taking the time out and affording me the opportunity to speak to you today. Sure. It's always great to advocate and educate folks on the home inspection process.
Well, it's great to talk to you, and we'll talk again soon.
Definitely. I look forward to it. Thank you very much, David.